Welcome to the SIC Podcast. We're going to talk about anything and everything. We aren't doctors, we aren't professionals, but hopefully some of our conversations will help others, maybe help you realize some things you got going on, maybe get you to start asking the right questions. But we're going to get this podcast going and sit down, relax, and enjoy Scoot's Inner Chaos Podcast. All right, so today you got me and George Glumm Jr. You've seen George on the show on the SOC Outdoors channel, so I thought it only fitting to have George on the first podcast. And I'm going to start by saying thanks to George for all you've done to help with SOC, because it was impossible without you and the ice shanty and all that, and you know, taking me places, going fishing, going camping, all that stuff. That's all George. And so yeah, the SOC Outdoors adventure wouldn't have been possible without my homie George.
And I want to say thank you for bringing me along for a fantastic ride. As of today, if this was to end, if everything went south for whatever reason, because life does that to you sometimes,
Right.
I would be more than ecstatic, as I am now, that I've been on the ride. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, I think, like I said, if this just stopped and we couldn't do any more, I'd talk about this till the day I died. Doing the podcast now, this is something I never thought would happen, but a few people have reached out and wanted it. Doing the SOC YouTube channel and just filming fishing and stuff's been really cool. Really cool. A lot cooler than I thought it was going to be.
Well,
it's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be.
the cool part for me is people that I haven't seen in a long time, I mention it, and they start telling me about different things that they've watched already.
That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And the banter that goes back between you and I. Again, I'm going to say on camera, you'll never see the good shots that I get on him because he does all the editing.
Oh, crap. I shouldn't have had you on because now everybody's going to know. I don't do that at all, Halo.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
No, I mean...
There are storms in the area, dude. If you blow up on lightning, I'm going to run this video till the day I expire.
Right. Well, no, I mean, it has been a lot more work than I thought, but, you know, we've talked numerous times about how we've sat in this garage and had ideas. Let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. And to have an idea finally come together, and I put all my effort into it and made it work. Like, it's working, you know, little by little. It's taking off faster than we thought. I didn't think anybody was going to watch it. I thought it was just going to be two goofballs thinking around.
But you slammed on the brakes in your life and got a picture of the whole picture and got tired of where you were,
Yeah.
being where you were at, and that's all we did, is have great ideas and sit there and toast beers, shots, or whatever.
Yeah.
And nothing ever transpired, nothing ever went forward. Hell of a lot of good ideas.
We had some good ones sprinkled in with some really dumb ones. And for some reason, we always picked the dumb one. The dumb idea, hey, let's get in the car and go over here and have another one. Or we're out of booze, let's go get more. We did those things. We didn't do the follow-through on, hey, we're going to go, let's go camping. That trout trip was something I've talked about. I don't know if you and I specifically talked about it, but it was near the opener. It was the weekend after. Go up, camp, spend the weekend.
Well, you were in the process of going through the tents and stuff online.
Yeah, we didn't get the tent until
a week before.
I think it was like Monday or Tuesday, and season had opened on Friday at midnight.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't have the tent. We couldn't have went anyway. I had to work, but I'm glad we did that trip. That was fun. I sucked. God, that trip sucked.
I didn't have a bad time.
I didn't either. I had a great time, but I mean, it just goes to show what fishing is.
And it probably would have been helpful if we would have checked what the previous forecast was as far as 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches of rain.
Yeah.
And then them shutting down a bunch of roads in a Rifle River
Yeah,
recreation.
we couldn't hit the creeks I wanted to. I wanted to hit Skunk Creek, couldn't do that. But I've wanted to do that for so long. I've wanted to grab a GoPro and start a channel for so long. And, just deciding to do it and doing it and I put a lot of effort into it, but it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be, really. I mean, right now it is because of driving and getting places and getting the footage. But once you get settled in, it's not so bad. Like the editing and stuff. Looking back at as hard as I've worked in the past on other things, or worked to be able to get the weekend off to sit and drink, like this is no harder. And we're getting stuff out of it. We get to fish, we get to hunt, we get to do things that we enjoy.
Even if we're not successful on the fish or morels or shed hunting, whatever, we're out doing something other than trying to have good ideas because of the past, what we used to do.
That, like I say in all the videos, like get out there, do some adventuring for yourself. Like half the time, like the videos when I'm by myself, I wouldn't be able to. Most people, I don't have time. There's no time for that. I can't do that. I don't have time either, or a vehicle to get there. I walk past water, so I put that extendable rod in the bag.
Yeah.
I fish. Today I caught that blue cat. I didn't have the cameras on, but I took a picture and posted it on Facebook page. So, I mean, it was fun. And actually, maybe with the camera, because it kind of, some of those trips, it seems like work. Like when I'm just walking, to just throw a rod in the water and not have the camera was kind of nice. I actually spent the whole time on the phone with you. So.
Yeah.
That was nice, too, to just be sitting there chatting with somebody.
Well, I seen the one post. How did you word that with the thumbnail over my head? Jester George.
Jester George. We got the SOC in-house jester. Or in-outdoors comedian. But, yeah, I mean, it has been such a good adventure. And I'm really excited for the future. And, it's got nowhere to go but farther and farther and farther. And as we're learning, things are getting better. We're spending the time outdoors that we always wanted to and had no excuse not to.
Right.
Like, we had no excuse to not do it. Yeah, we're busy. I work. You work. You got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. We still do. And now we're fishing a couple days a week at least. Before, we weren't. We'd either come here, sit down, and talk about what we're going to do.
How many days in a row would we sit and drink and talk?
Right.
Versus how many days now do we actually, now that we got a forward focus, grab the stuff, jump in the Tahoe, and take off and go and actually accomplish something.
Right, wing it. Half the time we're just winging it,
But we always had time before just to,
sit and shoot the breeze and bullshit.
Yeah.
And
just
it was
throw it out there and not go anywhere.
Right. And I mean, maybe SOC did it, maybe having the cameras and my hard schedule, how I want 2 videos a week or whatever, maybe that's making me do these things. And half the trips I go on, they're barely a plan. I just get to water with a pole. And I don't know what I'm going for. And
while we were talking, while you were in Hawaii, and you told me the deals that you came across on picking up cameras for what you would have spent in one day of drinking.
Yeah.
Knocked it out of the park, and God love you for this sobriety, man. You're doing a hell of a job. Yeah. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you that.
Doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all.
You've helped me along as well.
Right.
There's a boatload of people that I've always talked to and said, yeah, if I had 12, whether if I was working in the garage, cutting lawn, whatever, if I had 12, I was drinking 12.
Yeah. Same. I mean, if I had a bottle, it was gone. If I had a smaller bottle, it was gone.
And we're always looking for more. But now that we're doing what we're doing as far as the podcast, the fishing, everything that's in the future laid out, I hardly drink at all compared to what I used to.
Right.
There's weeks on end that I don't touch anything. How you doing, Chance?
Chance misses you.
Yeah, decide to stop by, did you?
Yeah, I mean, without, like you said, I forget about that sometimes. Hawaii, the amount of money I would have spent drinking one day out there.
You brought back, what, 2 or 3 cameras?
I brought 2 brand new cameras. One was brand new.
Still in the package.
Still in the package, and the other one still had the plastic on it. But it was open, and he took a few pictures or videos or something and decided it wasn't what he needed. And for the price of less than one, I got 2 brand new cameras.
And the stuff that you sent me...
And that was one barbell.
Yeah, and the stuff that you sent me as far as the kids surfing and things of that nature, I just like, this is...
Yeah, because we had,
This is gonna go somewhere. You put your frickin' feet in the ground, man. And...
Well, I mean, that's where... Drinking, I was the same way. If I was going to drink, I was going to drink. Everything I do, I go in with everything. I dive in and go. And it's no different here. We went from having that one camera that I had laying around forever. Then I picked up a used one. And I was like, okay, 2 camera angles is pretty cool. And then now we're up to 4 GoPros. 5 GoPros, actually. So I got 5 GoPros, and then that Canon, the good zoom camera.
Yeah.
So now we got
wireless mics.
Yeah, got what we need for whatever we come across. We barely use the mics, but I have noticed in the videos, the ones with the mics sound way better, and they're easier to manipulate too to get the volume levels right. And if you're looking away, you have your volume still, and I can pick it out and bring you up. So, I mean, we have them. Just got to get used to using them. The more we use them, the more comfortable I am with it. But having everything for it is going to make the channel go crazy. I mean, I'm having fun with it. Every time I do something without a camera, I feel guilty, even if it's at work, And
you think of what footage would be good, and
right, everything cool seems to happen off camera.
Then you go over it. You go over it in your head, and then you start second guessing, and then we kind of ponder it back and forth and jot notes down of what would be good, what wouldn't.
Right, like the camping trip.
I
learned a lot. What to do, what not to do. Wake up, remember you're filming, you're not just camping. Because that's the thing, doing stuff, going back into the old habits of you wake up, you just go through your process. I forgot to grab the camera. It was an hour before I realized, oh crap.
Yeah, we didn't start our footage.
Right. Yeah. But it's coming along. It's coming along. I mean, I really started it just to give myself something to focus on instead of, going out and having drinks. And I've enjoyed it so much more. It's added so much to life already. Like, it's forcing me to do things rather than, well, today I could just lounge around. No, I could go out and film something. What can we do? Right. I've called you how many times and let's do this today. Anything. Yeah. What are we doing?
Yep.
I'm going.
I'm always asking your schedule. What time are you out? Sending you a text message. Are you at work? You know, when you getting out? Okay, this is our timeline. Let's do something.
Right, and the hours I spend on the computer editing is much more than I thought.
You're doing a very well job. I'm glad I don't have to do that.
I wish I'd have known. If I would have known, if somebody had said, "Hey, man, if you take 2 hours of footage, it's going to take you 5 hours to edit it down into 20 minutes." That was a learning curve, but I'm also learning now. And the new camera can go back. It has pre-record.
Well, a new program in the computer and stuff will speed things up down the road for us.
A new computer. Yeah, a new computer. I can do multi-cam and stuff. That's coming. It's coming when it comes,
But 100 times over, we got to keep thanking the people that jumped on board with us as far as subscribers and things of that nature, because without you guys out there, we'd still be doing stupid shit, but we wouldn't be going anywhere with it if it wasn't for you guys out there. So thank you to everybody out there.
Yeah, it is motivating. So that is a good point. I mean, every time I don't check it every day. A lot of times I'll check it when somebody says, "How many subscribers you got now?" And I look, and I've gained 10 since the last time I looked, or 5. Or sometimes I look and I gain like 25 subscribers, and it's crazy. And now we're up to 211, something like that last time. I don't know where we're at now, but it's getting there, and it's so much fun. And now we're reaching more people. And then kind of the reason for doing the podcast is because the hunting and fishing, I want to focus more on hunting and fishing. And, you know, people that want to do hunting and fishing stuff can watch that video without hammering on the sobriety mental thing if they just want to watch a fishing video.
Right.
And then to get on the inside, you know, Scoots, Organized Chaos. And then this one, SIC, Scoots Inner Chaos. This is more of the mental thing. We can talk about why we did things, why we fished there.
Well, the sobriety part.
Yeah, sobriety is a big thing. And I know that there's a lot of people that struggle with it, because I did. I tried to get sober. I got my DUI, and then it was, almost 3 years. I sat there, and I was drinking. I couldn't shake it. I wanted to quit, but I couldn't quit. I didn't know how. Of course, I didn't walk into a meeting and go to the people who know, because that's what they do. And then, you know, just having the tools. And I'm going to a meeting later. You know, I'm going to one tonight.
And I went to the one with you.
Yeah. I mean, that
just
helps.
Because I want to see what goes on.
It's cool to know you're not alone.
It's very humbling to sit there and hear about a young man that I met when I was out to breakfast. Sat down next to me and he asked what the SOC Outdoors was. And I gave him the rundown on, well, the introduction and why it started. And I put it out there about you're making less excuses and doing a hell of a lot more. And he looked at me. There was no color in his face. And he put some stuff on the table about he's so glad that he sat down next to me because he almost lost his whole family. He almost lost his everything because of a meth problem and some other things in his life. And he opened up, and I told him, when we get a little bit farther into things, I'm going to drop off some decals to you, bring your trucker hat to you. Right. And if you would like to sit down with us and talk about things as far as when we get the podcast going, I understand you're on call 24/7, but look at the step that you've made already. Right. As far as taking care of things.
Yeah.
You're on call 24/7, so that means you can't do what you did before. Obviously, your family and everything is more important, but you took that step forward.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. And I you know, we've talked a bunch of times. It was a decision I made. It wasn't a disease. It wasn't whatever. To me, it was a decision. I do agree that it's kind of like alcoholism is more of an allergy because it affects me, man. If I drink, it's over. And I know that now. It might not be over today.
Right.
It might not be over tomorrow. I might be able to have one today. But eventually, it's going to get me again. I have nothing but proof of that from the past. Every time I try it, it's just a matter of time before something happens. And it was a decision. It wasn't a disease. It was an addiction. I chose to be addicted to that. I'm still an addict. Right now, I'm addicted to other things. I go to the gym. I grab a camera and go fishing. I grab a camera and do whatever.
But you're remembering everything that you do now.
Yeah, I was rough. I know that. It was my choice. That was what I chose to do. I have an addictive personality. It's not a disease. I chose to be addicted to alcohol. I could be addicted to cigarettes. I don't smoke. I could be addicted to crack. I don't do crack.
Yeah.
I picked alcohol. I liked it. I had, I don't know how many countless hundreds of great times drinking. It only takes a couple bad ones to really mess your life up. And I got lucky. Like, I caught it with the help of the police. You know? Like,
Sometimes it has to go there. Just thank God that it didn't go further.
Yeah, the policeman who arrested me when I sat in jail was working St. Stan's. I ran into him. I had a great conversation with him. It was fun. He thanked me for being kind and nice. It could have went any other way. I said, well, you had me. You were doing your job, and I wasn't doing mine.
No,
Like,
no.
I was a mess. He was nice enough to be kind to me. I was nice enough to be kind to him. It ended up all working out.
It's tough for those guys because the way things are out in the world right now, there's good and bad. I don't care what you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only cops. It's not military people that are in excuse me, are in power. It's not somebody that is higher up in a retail business or what have you. There's going to be bad just as much as good. Sometimes, unfortunately, there's more bad out there. But it's how we handle it as, do we want to get into a confrontation? Do we want to put our wrong foot forward?
Right.
Or,
I mean, it could be anybody. Like you said, it's not just the policemen. I mean, nurses get their asses beat all the time.
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally, physically.
But
construction workers. So, yeah, everybody. Everybody's got as bad of a rap as they got. That's really it. And so, it's remember to be kind to yourself. And if you can,
be kind to
someone else. Everybody's battling stuff, And that was one thing. I never shared how I felt or whatever, and now I'm getting better at it. Like I'll tell you, like, man, I'm having a shit day. I'm in my head. I'm whatever.
When this all started and when you got out of jail, I signed on for the long haul, and I told you. And
yeah, you're so mad at me because you thought I just bailed on.
I couldn't find you. Nobody would tell. I thought you went to Texas. I was ready to go. All right, I'm going to your.
How do I track down Jesse? It'll be easier.
I'm going to I'm going to go see Jesse in Texas and go, look, what in the hell happened?
You ready for one?
Absolutely. The lemon water is getting.
Well, now we can put a lemon tea. I'm gonna fill my.
Yeah,
let's throw you. Nice driveway.
Nice driveway.
Nice driveway. We're in George's driveway. Ooh, I got a couple grounds.
Nothing wrong with a little roughage.
No, good now. I just got most of them out.
But you had, even though you were in jail, and I was trying to find out, mine's.
Oh, I see that.
Come hell or high water, there's enough people out there that love you and respect you. They weren't given any information of any kind, and I said, look, just tell me that he's not dead and he didn't go to Texas. Because if he went to Texas, he's going to be dead.
He's going to be dead. I'm going to find him.
But
we got to make that trip, man.
Then
that lady just caught that bass in Texas. See, it's another sign.
Yeah. And I told you, I'm signing on for the long haul after I probably bitched you out for a half hour.
Yeah, it was rough. Like a welcome out of jail party.
It wasn't all warm and fuzzy like you thought. And I called your ass.
It was a lot warmer and fuzzier than I was used to.
I called your ass every morning for how long?
We talked a lot. Back like it is now, but maybe not even as much. But we talked a lot. At least every day, every couple days. You try to call or I'd try to call. We'd miss call or whatever.
You were in a shit way.
Yeah. It was all about me.
And you had 3 months sober because you had to.
Well, I had a few.
But
the longest stretch I ever put together is nothing. I'm now creeping up to 11 months. No. Yeah. Yeah, you're creeping up to 11 months.
I was just going to ask you.
This is the longest stretch I've put together since I started drinking when I was a teenager. 15, 16, whatever. And now, it's the hump that I thought I could never get to. It wasn't even on my radar. It wasn't something I was looking at. And I didn't, every time something little would happen, I'd chalk it up to bad luck or whatever. I didn't piece it together.
Well,
and I didn't.
It's easier in that frame of mind to make excuses.
Well, it's the thing. I was not
done it numerous times.
I was not
I've done it
accountable for
numerous
my own
times.
actions. You know, and even if the way I acted caused somebody else to do something, and then I reacted this way, and 2 hours or years or whatever later, it got us to where we are. It could have started with me drinking. Could have started with that person drinking.
Right.
Could have started with that person being an asshole. But looking and saying, you know, it could have been me, makes a huge difference in how you look at it. Like, man, I screwed some stuff up. Might have been me. How about I forgive everyone else and just start fresh, and then work on forgiving me, or forgive yourself for all the little things, and keep moving forward. You know, you don't have to look back. You can learn from the past, and you don't have to look back. You can just, that happened, whatever. I'm not doing that no more.
And sometimes when you look past, sometimes you have to look in the past and replay that shit show to remind yourself, don't want to do that again.
Yeah, I talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
Man, we just talked about it. Well, the last video we posted, I think, when we were like, man, it's nice to meet at Castaways, not have a drink. Like, yeah. And we kinda,
you're exactly right.
I don't know if it made it to the video or not, but we talked about, like, man, this was a lot different before. And we sure as hell wouldn't have took home a bucket of fish.
No, we wouldn't.
And we went to Castaways.
And if we had any kind of fish, I'd have more than one finger wrapped up back in the day trying to fillet the damn things.
Right. We'd have jumped off the dock and grabbed onto a catfish or something. But, I mean, and we went to Castaways, spent a couple hours. It was only 2 hours, if that. And
brought home 2 pounds of fillets on crappies.
And every single dollar that we took there with us. We didn't spend $1.
No.
Yeah, that was nice. So we gained money. I mean, we drank some waters that we still had left over from the camping trip, I think. Maybe, or different ones, whatever.
Along with 5 dozen crawlers.
Still got those. I can't believe they're still alive.
And there's still a boatload of them in there.
And they're active. They're live.
31 degrees in my fridge.
Just right there. Seems it's not killing them. They aren't frozen.
I know you wouldn't last that long.
Wouldn't last as long as 61 degrees.
Jeez, why do I know that?
Right, because I whine every time it's below 80. Today it's 85.
Yeah.
This is my kind of stuff right here.
I know. And I'm surprised you didn't put a hoodie on because we're in the shade.
Thought about it. I did. I could have put my UPF hoodie on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so SOC's been good, man. Sobriety's been good. Everything lately has set me to a different path. You've talked about how, I mean, you're not completely sober, but you're also not drunk.
I can go have a couple beers with my son and play a game of pool and be thankful that I got to spend some time with my son,
right,
and just be casual about hanging out with the best friend that I've ever had other than my folks.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's made a difference. We talk about it all the time. Man. You get up, we get going, we went camping. When we went camping, that was tough. I haven't camped in my life as an adult without the morning beer. I mean, I can't even remember camping without a morning beer. And then fishing that night when I sat there by the river in the dark fishing.
Campfires going, busting ass.
Dude, that was hard. But those Heineken Zeros helped. And then every time I mention that to somebody, they talk about, man, they got all these craft beers with 0 alcohol. And they got all this with 0 alcohol.
That was the first time I've ever tried a 0 alcohol.
Yeah.
And you were dead to right. It was like, we sat there, we shot the shit, and making the chili. You were working on that. I'm working on the fire. I'd walk over and have a drink.
Just like if you were, it's the ritual. We went through the same ritual. We just didn't have alcohol in that beer.
But it wasn't pound it.
Well, because you got the flavor and you're not getting the buzz, so then your mind isn't saying. And I'm no psychologist or doctor or anything.
You ain't got much to work with here, buddy.
Right. Thank God I'm not. You'd have me digging a hole to bury myself in.
You'd have had your own key to the tractor.
But I mean, to me, it's people have warned me, don't start doing that NA beers because it's a slippery slope, and eventually you'll just have one. And I can see that. And I guess them warning me, I'm smart enough to be prepared. Like,
well, you put it on the shelf as a red flag.
Yeah, now I know. Like, oh yeah, be careful. Because maybe when you run out, but there's still 12 regular beers. But what I think is it's the ritual. Like, I broke the habit of drinking. You know, the second I got out of a good meeting, I'd pick up the phone, I'd go to the liquor store, get a shot, celebrate. Now, I just pick up the phone and talk about how I'm not going to get a shot. Sometimes I call them the drunkest friends I got.
Yeah.
Call them, do the same thing, and do the same ritual. Just don't do that drink. Just take that drink out. If I want to drink tomorrow, I'll drink tomorrow.
And you're talking sensible to them because 9 times out of 10,
right,
if they got something heavy going on, they put it out there. And for you to be where you're at now versus being just another drunk jackass like I used to be.
I used to be, yeah.
The talk back then, it was just talk. Now, when you talk to somebody, and like we're saying, you know, I'm not trying to put myself on a glory pedestal or anything like that. I still drink.
Right, yeah. But
I do it in moderation. I don't do it like I used to.
Well, you don't do it just because you're bored.
Right.
You know, that was one thing with me. If I was bored, I drank, and that is what SOCs helped a shitload.
Well, and it's not so much being bored as where we were at in our lives.
Yeah,
with all the pressures. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I can come up with a million excuses right now why we should be having a regular beer right now.
Right. But I
don't have to anymore.
Yeah, I read that Bible thing today.
That was pretty cool.
And it was like grateful. I think what a lot of it was I was ungrateful. I didn't think, oh, I got nothing to be grateful for. And now I'm grateful.
It's real easy.
About these little things. Like, I'm grateful about this. I got this afternoon, we're doing the first episode of the SIC Podcast. You know, that's awesome. I've been talking about this. Justin Fabian mentioned it to me. You should, you know, I was, man, because I think me and him were on the phone for like 3.5 hours.
You had give me some bits and pieces about everything and the ideas that he just threw out there off the top of his head.
Right, and the name, the SIC Podcast, Scoot's Inner Chaos, nailed it, dude. It was cool. And then since then, that's months. That's been a month anyway, a month and a half.
That was back when we got back from the camping trip.
Maybe, yeah, but he might have given me the idea. But I don't remember. But it's been weeks, if like at least a month, if not 2.
Right.
And I've been wanting to do it. And full disclosure, and I've told you this, I was terrified to talk about me as a bad person and me. I mean, I've hinted at it in the videos, but to sit down in long form and put it out there that I wasn't happy with myself, I was ungrateful, I didn't appreciate the little things, I didn't appreciate everything I had, talk about real feelings, talk about things, I was terrified. And actually, I didn't think up until this camera turned on that this was going to be how it is now, but it's...
I used to walk around 95% of the time angry.
See? And that's another thing.
Just waiting for a reason for a confrontation to be in my area and me to open my big mouth.
Right, and just push it over the edge and start it. You're kind of admitting that you wanted to start a fight.
Yeah.
Even though you would have never admitted that before.
No.
You know? And same here.
And just wait for it and not even think about getting my ass handed to me or going to jail because I swing first. Whatever.
Right.
You know?
Whatever. And now, a lot of it is when you drink, all your inner thoughts and feelings and stuff go away. Start getting angry, you drink, it goes away. Yeah, it solved it. Yeah, it solved it for just then.
It made it worse for me.
If you drank 6, you know, okay, you're calm. Now, take a breath. I got just that first sip. Just, you can feel the blood rush out of your face. That feeling, I missed for so long, but I realized now all you got to do is mentally put yourself there. Grab a water. Take the same ritual drink of water and just, you can have that go away. But then, like in your case and in my case, I'm sure, I'm speaking for you now, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you have 6, you're still doing fine. You had that ritual, calm down, you're good to go. But if you had 13, 14, now you're angry and drunk and stupid.
Sometimes it was around the 8 or 10 aspect of things.
Well, whatever, yeah.
You know, and it just, because I would rethink about, boy, that really pissed me off, and I would get into that stupid
drunk, one track mind,
stupid mode again, and just not let anything go,
right?
And just hold on to it and keep going back to it, whether it was the next day of drinking, or the next 2 days of drinking, or a couple days down the road, and then, yeah, everything's going good. Hadn't had anything to drink in 3 days or what have you, and then like on that fourth day, oh, I'll have one. Well, I have another one. Well, I'll have a couple while I'm on my rider,
right,
cutting the grass, and pretty soon I get off the rider and I'm pissed off as hell.
Just made yourself mad.
Just, and why?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. And with my thing, how many great memories do I have drinking? If you look back at them now, like if I look back at all the good times I had drinking, they would have been good times without drinking. Drinking had nothing to do with it being a good time.
No.
I can definitely say that most of my bad memories, bad times, biggest mistakes were directly related to drinking. Whether it be I was hungover and mad, or I was hungover so I was running late so something happened that made me mad, or I was supposed to be out drinking and I'm not, or something. It was always something. Those bad times had something to do with drinking. The good times were going to happen whether I was drinking or not. It's not, oh man, that shot of tequila made today perfect. No, today was perfect and I happened to have a shot of tequila.
Right.
And thinking about that has really, I don't know. I think I just came up with that. Like, the good times would have been good without booze. The bad times probably would have been okay without booze.
And you might have got them basically, as far as a bad time, you might have just got it right off the table, being able to think with a straight mind.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Or got ahead of the game, or, a lot of bad times where I was hungover just a little. And then that started me a little bit.
Wait a minute.
Dude, at the end, I wasn't.
Like, you and I don't think we were ever hungover a little.
Yeah, it was either bedridden or fine. That's the thing. Towards the end, I wasn't hungover ever. I wasn't having hangovers anymore. And then,
that's the scary part.
But then in a couple of days of being in jail, I realized that I was hungover. I just was all the time. That was my normal feeling, because after I started cleaning out and I started drinking only water, because it's all you can get until I could get my commissary and get me some iced tea and Gatorade stuff to put in my water, all I had was water. And so after drinking just water, eating the bare minimum calories, barely, it was a healthy diet. I won't say it was great in that ideal diet, but you had just enough calories, and the only thing you could really drink was water. And they gave you Kool-Aid, which gave you a little bit of sugar to help you get going with every meal. After that, for just a couple of days, I started waking up ready, full of energy, ready to go. Waking up, just boom, waiting for them to unlock my door so I could clean.
Well, and the thing...
And I tell you, so then I realized that I was hungover. It wasn't that I wasn't hungover anymore. I was just constantly battling that hangover. Instead of my energy level being here, it was down here all the time. And then I shook that. And now, I wouldn't go back to that.
Well, and the thing, like, with
my
me...
My last hangover was in jail. I'll never have another one.
What I've got going on, like, I really don't have a big desire to have beer like I used to anymore. And I never was a hardcore liquor drinker. Number one, I couldn't handle it, and then...
Yeah, always kind of bitched out on me.
Oh,
did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? That was supposed to be in my head.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't to your alcoholic level yet.
No.
So, like, now, I'll go a week. Weekend will come up. Somebody might say, hey, do you want to have a beer or something? Nah, not really.
I've watched you
I'll
be
go
around the people we drank with and not drink. We've went to the bar.
Yeah.
We've ate at many bars together.
Don't have a problem having an iced tea or a Dr. Pepper or a Coke or whatever.
Right.
And I get to that point where, you know what? It's not so much into my system as it used to be.
Yeah, the bonfire day was the only time I saw you have more than just the one or two, or even heard about you have more than one or two. And the next day, you did mention that, oh, this is why I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You woke up with a hangover. God, it sucked.
No,
even
and
a couple.
Whether my sinuses were all jacked up because of whatever, I was tired. I didn't have any forward motion as far as anything.
Right. Yeah.
But I had to get up and do something, because if I didn't, just another wasted day.
Yeah. Well, Matt, I mean, how many times was that our factor? Like, how many... He wants to be on the podcast.
You might have to put him up on the table for a minute.
Where's he at?
Yep. Come here, Chance. Come here.
Chance wants to be on the show.
He's waiting for you because he just did the, hey, pick me up, Dad.
I'm not dad, but run away then, buddy.
And he's like, psych.
Psych! I just want to make noise.
Come here, Chance.
Well, so, we've talked sobriety to death. Not really. I mean, I could talk sobriety now for a long time. I mean, how much it's given me, I don't tell people they got to be sober. I don't tell you ever when... You've had beers in front of me. We've sat, when we went to the hotel, I got the salad. Yeah. We drank Heineken Zero, and then you're like, you know what, I'm going to have one. And you sat and had one, and I enjoyed it. Didn't change me at all.
And I had one.
Yeah. Then you came home and didn't have 12 more. That... Because that's the thing. We could go out and have one or two. But I couldn't stop it there. I'd go home. I had a little money in my pocket.
Well,
so, of course.
Or we'd end up here. There'd be a fire out back.
Or something. Or on my way home, I'd hit 2 bars and have one.
Or meet me here. That's where I'm at. Well, hey, by the way, I got what's left over of a case in my fridge. Where you at?
Yeah. Or I'd stop over, like, after a meeting. I still could. And here's the thing. It was affecting me at work because it wasn't affecting my job. I'd go to work sober, little hangover, whatever. But I would sure as heck take off.
Right.
I'd have a good meeting. It's 2:30. Businesses are starting to slow down. They're getting ready for the end of the day. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to just grab 6 beers and go to George's. Or grab 6 beers and go wherever. Grab a little bottle, go home. Whatever. I could have grinded it out until 6 o'clock. Business owners will talk to you whenever. I did that. And, I mean, I was making progress, whatever. But then, as soon as I can drive, I'm getting back into it. Because I want to prove to myself that, I guess it's not even prove to myself. I want to I can do it. I know I can do it. I was doing it like that. How much I want to see. It's not even prove to myself. I want to see how much better I am sober with the grind mentality. Because, I mean, you know me. You'll call me. I'm up. I'm editing. Hit the gym. Go to work. Hit meeting. Leave. I'm edit again until midnight.
I'm just so thankful to God that all the stupid times that I decided to drive, that I didn't hurt someone or myself.
You and me both. I had warnings. This is not my first DUI. I didn't sit in jail for 49 days. I did it. Thought I learned my lesson. Right. Couldn't shake that damn booze. I don't know why. I don't know why. I can tell you right now, I don't know why. People come up to me and say, man, I can't quit drinking. I just can't. And the only thing I say, I get it. I completely understand. I tried for years to be sober.
Yeah.
Just stop. Be sober. Something happened. It happened in jail. I don't think it was jail itself. I don't think it was. I didn't struggle in jail. No, I didn't struggle in jail at all.
You didn't have that option anymore.
I could have drank in jail. I could have drank in jail every day.
Well,
I could have drank in jail every single day.
You didn't decide to have that option. How's that?
When I could drink today. I could drink right now. I now know.
Iced tea, lemon water.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I could drink. And the only way that I quit drinking was to quit lying to myself and everybody else saying that I don't want to. I wanted to. The only reason I couldn't quit is because I didn't want to quit. Now that I want to quit, I quit. It's that easy.
Right.
I had to want it. And it's still not easy. It's not easy to decide that you want it for real, forever. So what I learned in a 12-step meeting is you don't have to quit forever. But if you wait until tomorrow, you quit for today. So just for today. I'm not drinking today. I'm not going to drink today. And then tomorrow morning, I'll think about it. If I wake up tomorrow and I don't want to drink today, and if I do that every day, and I decide every day, well, I can just get through today. I'll get through today, and then we'll reassess it tomorrow. If I do that every day, eventually, I'm going to die. I'm going to run out of time.
Yeah.
So if I don't drink today, every day, it's easy. Well, there's moments that it's hard, but everybody that I've met that's sober gives me their phone number. If you ever need anything, call. And I've heard people referred to the phone being 500 pounds. And they aren't wrong. Because there's a lot of times that I'm just
hard to make that
it's
call.
hard to make that call, man. I'm struggling. I've only made the call once. I'll call you, I'm comfortable with you. But you drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I call my buddy Justin. He drank. Sometimes I call him, he was drinking. Heavily. I call
Jesse.
Yeah. Call him. He's got it under control, I don't know. Probably not. He's an alcoholic. Screw it. You're an alcoholic.
Well, we're not.
But
We're not pointing fingers or.
I can't tell anybody they're an alcoholic. I can tell people that I am.
Trying to be on a high horse, better than everybody, better than any. No, I'm not better than anybody.
Well, the thing is, I call a lot of people that had some sobriety, or have, or whatever. But the AA people, the other 12-step people, Celebrate Recovery, all those groups, that's like, there's people I've met that's how our whole friendship was started. Other than my friendships that were started over a substance.
Right.
Right. I met somebody in a bar and we've been friends for 20 years, or I met him at my buddy's bonfire. We've been friends for 8 years. And the only thing that we actually have in common is we know the same person that got hammered with us at a bonfire.
Yeah.
And I saw him for years. Then guess what? I quit drinking. Or in some cases, I lost friends while I was drinking because they quit drinking.
Right. And
I didn't want to be around them anymore. Or they didn't want to be around me anymore.
That's where I got to thank the friends that I have. I don't, they'll poke shit at me a little bit and stuff, but they don't, they don't get rude, and it's all,
right.
It's all just good horsing around stuff. They might say something once or twice just to get a little dig in or something like that, but it's not that, well, you're this, or you're a pussy because you're not a drinker, you're this, and this, and if they did, I'd just be like, why don't you just shut the hell up? Because
right. I only had 2 people. One didn't really count. Just this weekend at St. Stan's, I had a relative that went to pass me a shot because everybody was getting a shot, And then they poured another shot and went to hand it to. They didn't hear me say, no, I'm sober, I don't drink. And then they went to pass me another one. I said, no, I don't drink. Oh! And then, like, my mom and sister come at me like she was trying to hand me battery acid. Which was funny. Like, come across the room like, no! Like, diving in front of a bullet. And Becky was there, and she hasn't been drinking either. And it was funny. They both don't drink. Like, we got this, we got this. It's not like I'm 21 shots in and the 22nd's going to make me puke, so you're protected.
Yeah.
No, I'm sober. I can make this call. If I wanted that shot, there's nothing they could have done to make me not take it. Period. And if I wanted that shot, and they did take it away and down all the booze so there wasn't any left, I sure as heck could have just walked to the closest convenience store and got myself a drink. It's
of course, you do have that thought of being hooked behind the Tahoe and being drugged down a gravel road for a mile or two.
I'm a runner.
You get in front, I'll catch you.
That's true. I gotta pace myself.
You're doing well, my friend.
It's not, I don't know.
And thank you for, like I said, that's the other thing. You've brought a lot to my table that I would never talk about.
Well,
my faults drinking and the mistakes that I've made. Not that I'm not going to make any more in life, but I'm going to, I'll tell you right now, on that aspect of things, there's a lot of thought that goes into everything before there's actions.
Yes, that's a big thing. I'm not impulsive. I mean, I still am. I'm very impulsive.
Absolutely, but not in that drinking aspect of what we used to be.
Yeah, not just an ass for no reason, you know?
I'm like that without drinking, and I'm having,
Same.
you know, I'm trying to get past that too.
Drinking, you weren't getting anywhere.
No.
You know, and that's where I'm at. I have so much to be thankful for, and I can't say it enough. Every time I post a picture on Facebook or something of something I'm doing, I'm grateful. Because last year, at this time, that wasn't even possible. People say, oh, well, you could have done that while you're drinking. Not me. I sure couldn't. I couldn't do it. How many times I fished when I was drinking? Because anybody who knows me, and there's a lot of people that do, I fish a lot. I hunt a lot. I do a lot of stuff. And drinking affected the act of fishing. I didn't fish like I'm fishing now.
No.
Yeah, I was fishing. I brought fish home.
You were going through the motions.
Yeah, I brought
fish. If you
fish
got
home.
something.
Yeah, great. Bonus.
Yeah.
But it was just about being out there with my booze. It wasn't about looking up to the sky, thinking, being grateful, praying. I got to be such a bad drinker. I mean, 90% of the time, sober enough to drive. You know, I'd wake up, I wouldn't drink. I had slept it off. I'd go through the day, and I could drive, whatever. I'd go home, drink, not drive.
Let me ask you this. We were up to Ruffle River Recreation area up there. If we would have been drinking on our last river, would you have consistently broke off 80-some hooks and donated them? Or would you have just sat down and got hammered?
I probably would have broke 80-some. Jesus. I probably would have broke 20 and quit.
I'm just going by what you said.
I probably would have broke 20 and quit.
You may have.
Well, the hooks I brought, because next time we're going to do the math. I'm not going to count them because I bought a bunch more. I bought some smaller ones, yeah.
I just didn't pull 80 out of my ass.
I think I said 87. I brought 87, but I don't know how many were in that little box that I had. So I don't know how, but it wasn't a small number. It wasn't a single digit. It was in the 20s, 30s.
I was moving down the river.
I was almost out.
I was moving down the river not to get into a spot before you. I was moving down the river so you didn't hear me laugh.
Oh, I was getting frustrated, even without drinking.
I was thinking, if he hears me laugh,
I was throwing a bowl at you. I would have beat your ass with a stick all the way back to the truck.
That brand new fishing rod's gonna be like a Cold Steel in Tim Wells' hand, and it's coming at me.
Ooh, I was getting frustrated.
And then you almost fell in a half a dozen times, and you were...
It was the end. I was at my wits. When we're sitting in the truck, you can see it on my face. And I just said at one point, it's on the video because I just watched it not too long ago because I'm getting ready to do it again, you know?
Yeah.
So I watched it again. And at one point, I said, we might have to go back to camp and take a breather. And I didn't say it like, we might have to go back to camp and take a breather.
You could hear it.
We might have to go to camp and take a breather. I was like, I can tell for sure that my eyes were closed. And I was just trying I guarantee every one of my muscles was flexed. And I was probably trying not to bust out of my boots.
We were on the river so long and casted so many times. I was trying to find that tick and trying to pull my T-shirt off at the Tahoe. I was like, ow, I'm trying to pull my shirt up because my back was just like a ball of knots.
I don't know why, but my back, not my lower back, not my upper back, like right in the middle, was super sore. And
that nice burn.
We had no
right
backpacks on.
No.
We had just walking and flip casting. I don't know, but we both had it. So we should review the tape and check our posture and see what we were doing wrong. It also could have just been a lot of twisting and,
probably ducking under a mile of shit going down the river.
Yeah, it was so rough. It was so rough. It was stupid.
And then not seeing any damn morels for seemed like 100-mile
After
walk
an inch
or
and a
mile.
half of rain, but I bet 2 days. But Adam said, because he was there, we left on, Tuesday?
Yeah.
And he stayed up till Friday, and they didn't do any good on morels, trout, nothing. I don't know if they fished the lakes or ponds. I'm sure there was fishing there, but...
Note to both of us.
Next
time we have so much fun on the river, we're setting chairs up on a lake somewhere.
Yeah.
And just going to throw and just relax.
No, we have to do both. We don't have to, but I think if we did like half a day, go hit 2 creeks, and then chill in the afternoon until like the sun starts going down, then hit a river at night.
I wish we would have got to one of them rivers that couple said, so you could have at least got out and ran one down, because I know you could have caught one like that.
Probably. And that. I bought that vest. I haven't tried it yet. I got that belt for the waders with all the tactical things. I'm excited to use that. I got to get out and use it. And I think I got your waders close to Pat's, but my dad said something. He says, you might be chasing holes. And as you're filling it up, it's stretching now that it's full, and so you're just popping new ones. So it might be the case that we're $10 out, and I don't know, hours of me patching them. They might be jumped. I think if I chase them, because it's close now, I think I'll fill them up, plug a couple more holes, and we'll call it. There'll be a good backup. A day like today, as long as you're not getting soaked, and you can get in the water a little bit, get out, we'll be fine. If it's not cold.
We can get a pair of stocking foot waders and throw them on just so you're not getting soaked
inside though.
Yeah. You know, as long as
just
it's not
some cheap PVC waders to put in those.
$20, $15 at the most.
Yeah, because those aren't super thick. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. But I don't know if anybody can see, but George has been on the channel enough that you might notice George is down 20 pounds.
Thank you.
In no small part, probably because you're not drinking as much. A lot of empty calories and booze. Plus, if you get drunk, you binge eat at night, man. I did anyway.
Yeah, I'd beat up the fridge every night that I got hammered. Almost do the Fred Flintstone thing and grab a hold of it and just empty everything out into my big mouth and set it back down.
Yeah. Well, it's good, man. You're doing, I don't know, we are doing a lot. It's been so much fun, dude. I don't even want to say we're doing a lot better.
You know the big thing that since the 20 pounds is off, I start doing my yard work out here. Energy's up. I'm not huffing and puffing like I've been a welder all my life with COPD and stuff.
Right.
Which I've never been diagnosed, but with that extra weight, again, even without drinking, you make excuses and you don't look at the whole picture.
Right.
But now that I'm to the lighter side, I might get a little bit winded, but nothing like I was before. Like back when we were pulling the ice shanty, like, hey,
yeah, I forgot about that.
If you go down, you're gonna die because I'm not putting my mouth on yours to save you.
I can barely breathe myself.
Yeah, I think that was something that was mentioned to me.
Yeah, and like we're talking about, you're almost in shape now, or we could do that hiking trip up in Hale or wherever it was.
Yeah, and I feel comfortable to take it on.
I mean, a day like today, up there, I don't know what the smoke's doing, but, we could throw all the packs on, go a mile, chill for half the day, go back to the truck, grab the rest of the stuff, and then hang out for 2 days.
Now, if we go a mile, I'm throwing a line in the water somewhere.
Well, the spot I'm thinking of's got a little pond, and it's foot traffic only. I don't even think they allow mountain bikes. And if they did, it'd be a real bitch. Because I remember I did it with my buddy Ethan when I lived in Frankenmuth. We went up there. And you were going, it was groomed, the trails were marked, but if a tree went down, it was there. Yeah. You went up through the tree, around the tree, whatever.
You had to figure out a way.
Yeah, it was a while before somebody got in there with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And, like I said, if we went in there the farther in you go, the better it is because the close campsites are easy. Same with fishing spots.
Yeah.
The easy spots to get to are heavily fished.
Yep.
The ones that are hard to get to, same with hunting spots.
Yep.
If they're hard to get to, it's worth it. You know, you look on Onyx and you see that, wow, this is going to be a 2-mile trek uphill. First thought in my head, that's where I'm going. Or it's in a swamp and you see all this water. That's where I'm going. Because nobody else is going to cross that water.
The thing is,
that's why I like my spot in Crow Island.
The thing is,
because you can get that boat.
I go that far, and all I'll bring back is horns, because I'll eat the damn thing before I get out. Because I'm not packing that much stuff out, you know.
But if you gotta take a couple trips, you know, leave your stuff.
Right. Get it up high in the trees and shit like that, and then go back to it.
I tend to pack out the meat first. I mean, we don't even have bears to worry about here, but you know, I went.
You shoot a
I went hunting with
deer,
George.
You shoot a deer with a bow, and the coyotes know the blood is in the air as soon as you let go of that arrow.
All right. If you're out overnight and you just let the deer lay to bleed out and die, just to get, I'm not sure if that was a good shot. You come back in the morning and they got the hind quarters chewed about up.
Yep.
And that's a good meat. You know, I've done that twice. And the second time, I was over in Big Rapids, and I shot one, and it had turned on me, and I wasn't sure. It was 40 yards, but I couldn't know that. I didn't have cameras, you know. I couldn't know that, and I didn't want to bust it up and chase it into...
Right.
There was a river. The Muskegon River was right there. If it would have crossed the river, I was screwed. I wouldn't have known where to go to get to the other side of the river, or if it was private or what. So I'm like, I better let it go. There's only a couple 100 yards to the water. And then my luck, it'd jump in the water, decide to die, and then the river's going to take it. God knows where. You can't track it.
When in doubt, back out.
Yeah. And so it happened to be 40 yards. And I got there in the morning. Its tail was gone. Both hindquarters were chewed up. And I mean, it was like, I don't want to say questionable shooting light, but it was dark. It was last second for me. And that's why I say I don't want to say questionable shooting light, because me, I give myself a buffer. And that is one thing. People are like, man, how come you're out of your tree already? Shooting hours are up, you know?
Yeah.
I've done that a bunch of times where I could still see because I have good eyes for dark. When there's a good moon,
yeah,
and the sun's setting on an overcast day,
like that.
I could see clear as day. I could probably count the points. But I just follow that rule because it'd be me. Look at how many times did I drink to excess and drive? Look at my record. Because every time it was bad, I got arrested.
Yeah.
You know, it would maybe be like I would have blew a little over a few more times than I'd like to.
You had that allergy. You drink and drive, you break out in bracelets.
Yeah. You know, every time. And that's how it was. I mean, I would drink, somebody else drove. That was just it. Somebody else drove. I'm not saying that they were sober, but I didn't drive. And in my head, that was my justification that I'm doing okay. I'm not drinking and driving. How dumb is that? Like, I'm not an alcoholic because I don't drive. It's the stupidest thing. Oh, I just drink at home. I don't go out to the bars. I just drink at home. A bottle or whatever, a half a bottle that's left from yesterday because...
Or you're over here.
Right. And I'd have enough, and then, like, somebody come pick me up. Or I'd just wait it out. A lot of times we'd just hang out, and I'd wait it out. I'd bring 6.
Call somebody, hey, where are you at? Oh, you're only a little ways away.
Yeah,
well, drop off this to us and...
Yeah. Or we'd go to the bar, and then, you know, when Becky would get out of work or something, she'd pick me up, take me home, and I'd come back for my car, or leave my car wherever. Or I wouldn't be in the car because I didn't give a crap. I was just out drinking. Who cares where the car is? I'll find it. Maybe. It was nice that when I got OnStar, I could look at the app, find out where my car was.
I got that right in my melon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Got a titanium antenna.
So you're about ready to go set on be introduced to a spot that, thank you, G, duh. Yeah. It's just iced tea and lemon water, okay? Thanks, G, for mentioning the spot. I'm going to take Scotty, too.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
We're going to hit it. We're going to film it. Yeah, that's as good a time as any to end this.
You get a shout out on SIC as well as SOC. So thanks, son. Thank you for the friendship over the years and being such a fantastic friend to your old man. I love you, kid.
Nice. I love you too, G2. Well, George, it's a good time as any to end it, man. Wow.
That wasn't intentional, but
Okay.
hey, it was the gimp finger. It got there first.
All right, well.
Let's try that again.
All right. Thanks, Sam. And, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope the SIC Podcast helped somebody at some point. And make sure to subscribe. Hit the like button. Share this out there. Let people know we're doing a podcast. Leave comments. And, let us know what you think. Maybe topics you want or people. If you guys are on there and you got a story you'd like to share or memories with me, or maybe you're somebody I haven't talked to in a while and you got a journey that you've been on that, maybe we can just sit down and talk. This was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
I think it went well.
I was so nervous about this. It took so long. And I think it went really well.
And if you want, you can throw comments about how much of a klutz I am. And
yeah, do that.
The stupid crap that I do that he leaves in the editing.
Yeah, this one I'm not editing out.
Well,
podcast I'm just going to run. So
there you go.
Yeah. But everyone, thanks again for watching. Hit that subscribe. Share this video out there.
Thank you to everyone for all the support.
It wouldn't be possible without all of you guys watching. And I did not think that people would have any interest in... And, nobody would have. My drunk self... unorganized, not ready. Nobody would watch this, so I thank Sobriety, and I thank all of you. And, get out, do some adventuring, leave some comments, and be kind to yourself. And if you can,
be kind to someone else.
Be kind to someone else. Man.